Boom. Here we are, now streaming over with our beautiful faces onto YouTube, as well as the chat is over on YouTube as well.
Good deal.
And your volume is turned up so they can hear you. I didn't screw that up this time.
Oh yeah, yeah. Something always seems. You know what you need to do on the YouTube stream is mute your Discord pings, because like every 10 seconds you hear bloop,
Oh,
bloop,
can you hear them
bloop.
right now?
Oh yeah, they come through. I don't hear them. The YouTube stream picks them up.
Oh,
How?
jeez.
Yeah.
Okay, so how do I quickly undo and do that so that I
So
don't
go into user settings.
Yeah, so I've just killed our video. So I'm in the settings. Now everybody can see my settings. Let's not do that right now.
Oh, no, everybody sees your settings. Sorry, YouTube. You're getting.
We'll worry about it now. Everybody's pinging me now. This is what it's like, though, honestly, with the quote unquote roles and the things that I do for everybody in game. I mean, that's how often pings go off all day and all night.
Yep.
It's like a 24/7. So.
All right. Holy smokes, we got a full crowd tonight.
Of course.
So let's get this show on the road. I got everything queued, so let's do it. All right, Taylor? You ready, Taylor?
I'm going. We're going. Go.
Warning. The following show features language and other disputable information that is brought to you by the persons who actually play EVE Echoes under the supervision of NetEase. Accordingly, Echoes of New Eden hosts must insist that no one should get offended by the things that Taylor says.
And welcome to Echoes of New Eden, everybody. This is our house. Everybody jump around. Do you like that?
I love that. That was awesome.
Welcome. Hey, fun fact, I made this beat. So I spent today, I made that warning and I made this beat at the same time. So, yeah, got it pretty close, didn't I?
Uh-huh.
But how you doing, Taylor?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. It's been a hell of a week. You know, every time this time comes up again, and here we are on a Sunday night to do another show, it's like, damn, a whole week went by? Shit, what happened
it's too
this
quick.
week? Now I got to go through and think about it again, even though I have gotten better about taking notes and kind of looking over things and keeping things ready to go ahead of the show tonight. So it doesn't really show when we get to the live show, though, because we just throw all that right out the window.
Yeah, it just flows.
It just flows.
It's like, what are we going to talk about? I don't know. I forgot.
I don't know. About 45 minutes before the show starts, I open up the script and actually dump some shit in there, and here we are.
Yeah, and here we are. So, yes, another week has passed by in New Eden, and a few major things have happened that we'll be talking about. I know right off the top, I have to pull up the show notes, but SHH had a fireside earlier this week. They announced that they are moving out of Deck. So that is Decline, however you want to pronounce it. So that was big news.
Fade.
Declan. And so they're picking up and they're moving, and what seems to be Ned, and they want to go and they want to trash on the lower side of the map for a while. So there's that. We'll be talking with that.
Chicken's coming back to the game. That's big news too.
Hey, Chicken, you need a corp? I don't know if Manev is running who anymore, but I know a corp that you can join.
Yep, I know one. Don't talk to the Merger King over here. I know when you can join as well.
I just had a boot an inactive person, so I have room.
Toxic. Proof Rambo's toxic.
Toxic. Oh shit. So
boots people because they don't play at some point in 24 hours.
Yeah, he'll join HTP. Yeah, they're brethren over there. Yeah. So the other big thing that happened this week was that leak from the Chinese I don't know, server info wherever that was
Yeah,
posted, some leak.
It's
of,
the Eve Echoes website in China. It wasn't really a leak. They just posted it.
that was posted from their website.
That was posted from their website.
It seemed like it was more like a comment forum
No,
type.
this is what happens on the Chinese server with the Chinese website and the Chinese games. Yeah, they actually get the information ahead of time that we don't as content creators.
Yeah. Well, what's funny is we actually kind of already do have this info. So
Well,
later on in the
yeah,
show,
but that's the funny thing, though, right? Like, I know we
hey,
have.
do you want to
some of
talk
this-
for 50 minutes or
Yeah.
should we get into this?
I'm sorry.
Like last time, I was like trying to
Get
come
me
on,
along.
let's get to the
Sorry.
next.
Yeah,
Yeah,
go.
then
You talk,
we
you
get
talk.
sidetracked,
Yeah,
but
well, I want to talk about it, so go. Sorry, I'll let you.
we'll
go.
talk about this later, and I'll give my 2 cents on it, and of course, Benzie gave his 2 cents on it, and we'll be talking all about that stuff. So, what else did you have on the store for us there, Taylor?
Now I got to go back and look at it. I don't have it pulled up. You usually have it pulled up.
Nobody is ready. What the heck?
Yeah.
We're jamming out with music in the beginning, and nobody is ready.
Nobody's ready. I can go
Damon is with us in spirit tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he is still alive. Last weekend he had wife aggro. He was red boxed, and so
Hard, yeah.
He's hanging low. He's staying docked tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Staying docked.
So the topics of conversation that were on the script that we never follow are, of course, game news, the leaked info from the Chinese server, Shush leaves Declan, Damon Zell commercials. We have some new commercials from Damon Zell. We've got 2 Duo Omegas to give away tonight. And the worst meme posted on the Discord during the show. Somebody go ping Junie, gets a bottle of Quaif.
Oh wow! And subscribe to our YouTube. Don't unsubscribe. That's not.
Like
that's,
Alondria
we don't
already
want
did.
that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
That was hilarious. So. Yeah. So how are we gonna give away some Duo Omega? That's with the worst meme contest in the on-air chat
No,
tonight.
the Duo Omega is going to be trivia right in the middle of the show that I'm just going to drop in. 2 different questions that will drop in at certain random times, and we'll see who gets those answers correct. And do I know what those questions are right now and the answers to said questions? No. I'm going to come up with them live on the show as we work.
All right. Is Lord Dragon in the audience?
He is.
In case somebody needs room, just ping me. I'll kick Lord Dragon out if he says a knock knock joke one more time.
Ouch. Ouch.
Yeah. People. All right, good deal. And so we will start with the game news and announcements and go from there. Did you want to do the Q&A first there, Taylor?
Yeah, we can do the Q&A first. So this is the weekly developer Q&A from 3.7 to 3.13. First question was, please consider adding some various ways to help people produce classified 2 and 3 gravitational wave graph. It is a fun content, but now price is too high for players to enjoy and profit from it. Water Knight comes back and says, we have also noticed this issue and put gravitational wave graph in the event store, which will be updated soon. We will release them in more gameplays in the future. Thank you for your support. Okay, somebody explain to me how it is that if the market price for people selling them is higher than what you can get out of it, anybody would buy it, therefore causing the market price to go down. Am I missing something here with these things? Anybody?
I don't know. I'm really just trying to understand the question too. Is it
Well, I know what
fun?
they are. It's the little things.
Is
you
it
go
a
to
fun
run.
content?
It's good content. It's good content. It's a good moneymaker, really. You used to be able to buy them or get them or whatever for cheap enough to be able to turn a profit on it with your time. They're fun. They're hard. The gravitational wave 3s that I remember, if we're talking about the same thing here anyway, they're difficult. You got to take a fleet in there. But if they're so expensive that they're not worth doing, then nobody will buy them, and then they'll get cheaper. Like, I don't understand. So, yeah, obviously, if there's not enough of them on the market, then that's, well, yeah. See, people are just sitting on them. So there you go.
Oh yeah, just sitting on them.
Yeah.
That is true. I didn't even know I had them. I have
Yeah.
40 of them.
There you go. All right, next question. The chat translate feature is very helpful, but it would be good if it was automatic, so it automatically translates so you can just read it. This would remove the need to open chat and click on every single message to read it. The need to click the translate is very... oh, my God. I'm stopping. I'm not even going to read the rest of this question. Dude, seriously, do not give the devs any ideas on how to make the server run worse. And no, you don't need now they're going to... oh, my God. Do you even understand what it would take to do that, to have an automatic
We're
translation?
going to auto-chat it?
Yeah, everything.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Water Knight comes back and, of course, says exactly what I don't want him to say, which is, this is a great idea. Fuck.
It's always a great idea.
God damn it. We have been working on optimizing the experience in battle. What the fuck does that... anyway, this feature will improve the smoothness of battle. At the same time, it can also better connect pilots in different regions. We will discuss with the developers the feasible solutions for this. Well, you know, if it's something that's easy, I guess, and doesn't cause server lag, then whatever. But good grief. Let's not break local again. That's exactly what will happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah, exactly. Implements for the Chinese server. Oh, hey, you know what? On the Chinese server, they don't have language translation. They get voice in-game. That's what they get. They don't have translation. You know why they don't need translation? Because they're all Chinese.
Yeah.
So, anyway. Next one. Oop. Stuck on a cord. Are you planning on bringing back the CyberX core again for the faxes? You have multiple purple cores for the regular carriers, but not that. It would be nice if they weren't behind a huge paywall. Water Knight comes back and says, we are trying to come up with new ways to bring the old nanocores back. It includes CyberX and more series of old cores. Stay tuned. Yeah, I need a core for the fax. That's not a $600 core or whatever. I don't know. I mean, I forget how much those things went for. I know some people were able to get them fairly cheap, but that was for...
I was going to say,
you know,
for
Manticores and shit.
CyberX, I bought the CyberX one for $50.
Yeah, I mean, and that's not bad, I guess.
For the Orca, though.
But
It's for the Orca.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I've said this before. All the nanocores need to be able to be craftable in-game, buildable in-game, resources, you know, ground in-game. And
Just
somebody-
you wait.
and
just
somebody
you
wa-
wait.
Yeah, I know. Now we're gonna have an automatic way. Okay, Paul. Next question. Will we ever see any other weapon systems for player stations? With the issues related to missile damage delivery, having a choice of station weapons would help alleviate some of those issues. New skills could be created for station weapons and defenses, making a player choose which areas to skill into. This could and would tie in with implant technology as well as capital level weapons if desired. It would also force attacking players to make certain choices regarding loadouts as well. Just curious if we will see any variety offered regarding player stations. RIP goes the only role for bombers in this game, which I do understand. I think stations are way underpowered in terms of their individual defense, especially a Citadel, for God's sakes. Paulin comes back and says the weapon diversity of the player station is one of the most discussed topics in our design team. Well, that's interesting to know. Well, we know a lot of things about station stuff coming up. Anyway, we have some ideas about the modules and skills of the player station, but there is no development plan in the short term. The new content in the near future will still focus on ships. And I know that's true, but that's also kind of not true because there was supposed to be something coming on the Citadel level next month, but we'll see.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is, what's the range of the weapons of the current outposts? spots right now?
123, something like that. I mean, small, mediums, and larges, they're all around that same range of 120 some odd kilometers, which is weird.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, they all have about the same range, within about 5
How
or 6
about
kilometers
Web and
of one
Newt?
another. The E-War stuff is like around 45 or 50, if I recall, and I'm just coming off the top of my head here. I could be wrong, so somebody correct me in chat.
Yeah.
If,
Well,
if that
I
number's
know
wrong.
of bombers hitting like 45 plus on stations.
Oh no, bombers
and
are hitting
so-
anywhere from 80 to 120.
So
But they're
even
still
further, yeah.
inside. They're still inside the missile range. They're outside of the E-War range.
Right.
And then, of course, if you're using a Typhoon 2, you're looking at, you know, you can go all the way out to 285, easy, in
Nice.
a Foon 2. I mean, you can do 260 in an APOC Striker, for crying out loud. So, just kind of depends how you have it fit, but The GUs, yeah, I can get them up to 160. Okay, well, that's good to know. I haven't tried to do anything with my little bomber squad with getting it really pushed that far. So, yeah. But still,
All right.
there needs to be different defenses for all of those. Anyway, next thing to go on to for the game. Oh, that's the leak stuff, and then here's the patch notes. What do you want to do next?
I was gonna hit these announcements real quick. I just need to see how far back I need to go. So
Okay.
we did a episode on 312. That means that everything from Inscription of the Galaxy Conquest, they optimized the leaderboard rules, and so I clicked the link because I wanted to see what they said. They said. We recently received feedback from the Capsuleers regarding the possible unfairness of the leaderboard rules to prevent situations that would affect the fairness of leaderboard rankings. We have added the following restrictions to the implant leaderboard. The number of people who can participate in the implant leaderboard for a single corp cannot exceed 200. Scores from the excessive participants will not be recorded. Note: participants in the implant leaderboard include history participants. Members who have left the corp still count. I think I'm number 4 on that leaderboard. I checked today. My corp is number 4
On the implants, yeah.
on the implant.
Yep.
Yeah.
I did see that.
Um,
I upped my volume, guys. Someone was saying I was quiet on YouTube, so just let me know if that fixed it. All right.
yeah. People are DMing me to get dragged in. I don't know if it'll work.
Yeah, I don't.
Try
I don't
it.
think. Yeah, I don't know. We'll try it.
We've done it before,
Yeah.
and I think it like kicks somebody out or something. I don't know. It does something weird.
We've had up to
Uh,
25 concurrent viewers at one point here on the live stream too. So that's a record for us.
All right, let me go back because I clicked off the Eve Echoes deal here. So they're talking about that, the Inscription of the Galaxy Conquest event. And then they also had this, and for A1, the seeds of the sleepers have quietly awakened, and New Eden is in crisis once again. The new event, Awakening Iron Rain, is coming on March 22nd. And so that's a few days from today. They give us this cool image. And then with this, faced with the sleeper crisis, New Eden's decision makers are divided, old friends going toe to toe. The Doves advocate coexisting with sleepers, while the Hawks vow to wipe them out. Which faction do you support, pilots?
Why can't we have faction warfare and instead we have this new made up Hawks and whatever stuff? Which one is it again? Hawks
Well,
and what?
Doves?
Hawks
I thought
and doves.
Dovian. Doves? Did I say doves before or doves?
It's I don't think I think you said doves or I don't know what the fuck you said, but someone
Doves.
take a shot.
No, well, the thing is I was going off of Dovian. Isn't Dovian
Jovian.
some
You're
lore
thinking
thing?
Jovian.
Oh, Jovian.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So that was why. Yeah. Yeah, I guess.
Why
I
can't
guess
we
these
just
are
have
made up.
Jovian and other, things? But whatever. Just use a name from in game for crying out loud. But yeah, we got to make this harder than
Yeah.
it needs to be. Whatever.
So, introducing these: choose doves or hawks to complete missions for faction rewards. Dun dun dun. I have a feeling that's going to has something to do with the nanocore we're going to be talking about later. But otherwise,
That'd be interesting if those
Patch
were tied together.
notes.
That would kind of suck. That would really kind of suck. All right, patch notes from the previous week. That was 315. The estimated price was updated based on the market transaction record. That's a normal thing. I've explained that 9 times a Sunday. We don't need to talk about it anymore. Bug fixes. They fixed the issue where salvagers were less effective when salvaging multiple wrecks. I don't know about you, but I've had a lot of players tell me that if they use the cheaper of the two salvagers, it doesn't really work very well, or it just doesn't work at all. And then when you buy the really expensive ones, all of a sudden it works fine. Like even in the same damn ranges. So even though the expensive ones are more range or whatever, it's like the cheap ones are just there to tease you. They don't work. and the big ones do. So maybe that's something that they fixed there with that. I don't know. Number 2, fix the issue where Voyage Nanocore Micro Reject mode was less effective when used in conjunction with Afterburners. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but they nerfed that damn thing a few weeks back, and now they've gone and put whatever they nerfed right back in. That's essentially what they did. I don't know what the hell happened there. I mean, it was an exact patch note of them nerfing it and saying it was too much or something, or overpowered from what they initially wanted. And then they just turn around and put it right back. So something weird's going on there. I don't know if it's from player feedback or it's just from what they're noticing as far as use cases and what it's doing. Or maybe now that they've quote-unquote put it back, it doesn't have quite the same overpowered stacking effect. I think it does, though. I think I've seen some stuff going. It's more powerful now. Yeah, okay. So that's crazy. I don't understand. Yeah, I don't know. Now I really want that damn core on my Phantasm. I'm pissed. So, because when it first came out, I was like, oh, I want that. And I saw everybody's speeds, and I'm like, that's going to get nerfed. That's not going to do that. I'm not going to waste my money. And then, of course, it did. And here we are. Damn it. All right, number 3, fix the issue where low-tech level players were incorrectly restricted from piloting high-tech level ships in faction war games. I have no idea that was a thing because nobody plays faction war games.
Right.
Fix the issue where the damage bonus for bombard tactics was not removed in some scenarios when durability was depleted. So it just that's funny. I don't care. That's hilarious, Nestle. So I didn't realize that was a thing with bombard. I have never noticed that where it just keeps going even though it's been used. But interesting. That would make it quite overpowered, wouldn't it? Fix the issue where Capsuleers were unable to use their award vouchers in the Personal Citadel and Corporation Citadel. Now, this is those little vouchers we've been getting now for almost 2 weeks and not being able to then turn around and use them for anything. So now we can.
Doesn't it turn to 20,000 ISK or something? Is that the same one?
I don't know what all is on there, to be honest, because I just don't pay attention to that. I don't really pay a whole lot of attention to the in-game stores anymore. I haven't for probably 4 months. Probably because I'm too busy, in a war. So
fighting a war.
Yeah. So, which I'm sure we'll talk about tonight. That is it for the patch notes. Very short and sweet and simple. I guarantee you next week's patch notes are going to be huge. We know of a lot of things that are coming. Some of those things we'll talk about tonight. Some of those things we can't. But not even with all that said, when you go a couple of weeks in a row without anything dropping of any significance in the patch notes, you know it's about to come. There's Rambo fapping again.
Yeah, I freaking knew it.
That's pretty good. But that's it for the game news. That was.
All right. Then let's jump into this this leak.
Okay.
Then. And I pulled up the
I'm streaming
actual website.
I'm streaming the thing.
Okay,
right
yeah,
now.
I pulled it up.
I don't know how well people will be able to see it, but it's there.
Yeah, I just seen the screenshot, and this is the first time I'm seeing it on the website, and I translated the website because it's all in Chinese. So they posted this ESOS, Eve Star River mobile game, posted on Guangdong. So whatever this is some Chinese website that they use. They have here this announcement. Dear New Eden pilots, in order to provide pilots with a better gaming experience, we have been focusing on continuous improvement of the gameplay in the game, in the PvP or PvE gameplay. Recently, we found that there are some that need to be repeated operations. If things go on like this, it will not only lose the fun of the game, but also increase everyone's fatigue. Yeah. To this end, we have introduced smart nanocores, which pilots need to obtain by upgrading purple nanocores. Pilots can avoid some repetitive operations and simple combat missions in the future. It can also be expanded to mining, transportation, and other fields. In low security and 0-0 areas, when using it, you should pay attention to that it is possible to be attacked by other pilots. And according to the New Eden Artificial Intelligence Ethics Protocol, This kind of battle will not actively attack other pilots. This function also has a daily limited time setting. I hope that all pilots can participate in the game healthier and experience a better clone life. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey,
So-
real quick before we continue with this, we need to kick somebody or pull Ozier down because he can't get into the live chat. That is our special guest, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
Take care of that
There
real
we go.
quick. There we go.
So, continuing on, after the function is launched, we'll pay close attention to the online data and everyone's feedback. We also hope that through this function, pilots can be freed from some repetitive operations and allocate time and energy more reasonably, further enjoy the fun brought by the game. But at the same time, this function also has some limitations. For example, it could be only used at the common abnormalities in the galaxy to fight or automatically accept and complete high security combat encounter missions. If the pilots have any suggestions for this function or new functions, they can such as QQ channels through communities, discuss them with the development team. We will listen to everyone's opinions carefully and launch new features as soon as possible to give pilots a better gaming experience.
Yeah,
Oh,
so what
okay,
there's-
one more paragraph.
Okay, I'll let you read it and then I'll go back to something because I have a different translation that makes that a little clearer.
The game experience of pilots has always been our focus. We encourage pilots to obtain benefits in the game through legitimate means, and we will never condone any unfair or illegal game behaviors using script and plugins. I would also like to remind all pilots, in order to protect the data security of their own accounts, please do not use any third-party script plugins. I hope that all pilots can enjoy the fun of the game and work together to create a harmonious, healthy, and fair game environment. Thank you for your support, Perspective Media. Okay, let's dissect this here.
Yeah, I think everybody is initially coming away from this and instantly saying they've denied bots for years and years and ever since launch. They've constantly been kicking bots and banning bots and yada yada yada. But now you've got legalized botting, and that's I understand what people are saying when they say that, but I think that's a little disingenuous, and I think you're jumping the shark a little bit when you say that because this doesn't sound like that in what we've heard on the back end to me. It does sound like it's going to maybe alleviate some of that boring grind in ANOMS. And the translation that not that I like that, okay? I don't like any of this, but I don't think it's a total like, oh shit, they just breaking the game and now everybody's going to be botting. I don't think that's the case either. So one of the things that they say in the different translation here is such as currently can only be used in the local system of ordinary anomalies to fight. So I'm reading that is you can't take it into a dead space. You're only going to do smalls, mediums, and larges. Period. Okay. That also means you're not going to be using it on missions. So people doing mission running in Clairlam and HiSec aren't going to necessarily use this either, right? They're just talking about small, mediums, and larges. Now maybe I'm wrong on that, and maybe the HiSec ratters will be able to use it to grind a whole bunch of money to buy a bunch of X types to always fly in Clairlam and never go anywhere else. And to that, I don't really care. Like how does that affect the rest of the game? I know someone's going to come in here and go crazy on me and tell me that if you constantly have 250 people in Clairlam, that somehow ruins the game for everybody else. I don't know if that's the case. I don't know if that's the case. I don't think so. So now if it winds up to where you're doing this to where I can just undock, hit a button, and it warps me to exact range of my weapons, and I don't even have to think about what my weapons range are, and it runs an anomaly and then moves it to the next one and runs that, and I can just walk away and not give a shit, and I can do that anywhere. Low sec, high sec, or null, then yeah, that's not good. Definitely not good. But I don't think that's what they're doing. That's not what it sounds like they're doing there. So
No.
that's my two takes on it.
I think what they had. So I'm just going to go down the paragraphs here. Understandably, the content creators are under an NDA. We've known about. I think we could probably say we've known about this for a couple weeks, and it's only really big news is because it was leaked by somebody else other than us. So Granted, it's the Chinese website and whatever else, their media company, all that type of stuff. But you know, um, we did know of something coming like this. Now they call it Smart Nanocore. That's translation to intelligent nanocore, I believe, is what they're going to be called. And the ability to be able to get them is not behind a paywall, in which everybody kind of thinks that it is. In this sentence, it says the pilots need to obtain by upgrading purple nanocores, which is the case. We can confirm that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say how you would do that or what's required, but there's two things that right off the bat that I would say that are true. Now, coming into this, pilots can avoid some repetitive operations and simple combat missions. That I would say is true. And here's why. As we have this new event coming with the new factions, this nanocore, I believe, is going to be required to do some of the missions in those factions. It's just what I believe. Now, in this sentence, it says, in the future, it can also be expanded to mining, transportation, and other fields in low security and 0-0 areas. We don't know if that's going to drop right away. They may not implement that.
So for the people that are listening to this right now or in the chat, answer me a question about, I'm going to say the words Rambo hates to hear, EVE Online. Do they or do they not use scripting in EVE Online? They do. And doesn't that scripting make things a little easier for you when you're grinding? Waiting for an answer. Someone's going to say they do. Scripting for what? That's exactly right. What are the scripts you're using in EVE Online for? What do those scripts do? Mining usually, okay. So automated things in grinding. Changing functionality, okay. Bradrick, I know what slippery slopes are. I know. It is. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I'm asking because I don't know. I'm asking because I don't know. I don't know about autoplay. No, I'm just asking about what the scripts are used for and how they work. So, and maybe the way they're wording this and how it actually comes out will be something totally different than the way they're saying it. We've seen that before. So who knows, guys? I mean, who knows?
But that's
we'll
the thing
find out come Wednesday.
We have the English version typed up by one of the community manager helpers. We know what the English version says.
Yeah. That doesn't mean it's going to come out right. We've been down that road before.
Well, but it also kind of debunks some of the bad translation stuff that we're seeing in this one. So yeah. that's kind of more of my point. It's like, could it be true or could that just be a bad translation? Because we honestly don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. And it could be horrible, guys. I could be totally wrong.
Yeah, I mean, they could get enough backlash and be like, oh no, it's just going to be a normal nanocore that you would upgrade. Yeah, although if it does become something like this, I think it automatically should just be called Auto Crab. I heard that earlier today. I thought that was a brilliant name for it. The Auto Crab nanocore.
Yeah, Auto Crab, yep.
So when using it, you should pay attention that it is possible to be attacked by other pilots. Of course, you're going to get people coming into system. It's not going to auto dock for you. They still want you to be, is that with a K or a C? Honestly, I don't know.
Auto Crab with a K. Slippy, I love that. Silent podcast host asking for EO botting scripts. Confirmed.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, with this, it's basically a wait and see. So I've been seeing a lot of chatter on this. I've seen people basically saying that they'd quit the game if this is implemented. Um,
We'll have to see
I
what it
don't
does.
think if they go 2.5 years of combating botting and then they put this core in for a I guess a way of life kind of improvement in the game, uh, you're really just catering to those high sec pilots that don't want to do missions all day that do. And I mean, either way, they're gonna find ways to make ISK somehow, right? So that's kind of what this is. Now, again, is people are making assumptions that this is like the end of the world type thing. We don't even know if this is going to be true in the translation. So, they're saying they're going to quit the game already. I think they're probably on their way out as it is. And then Benzi makes a 25 minute video about it, laughing and swearing and kind of giving the Tofanofo. I'm gonna comment again. Tofanofo made a comment. He said, "This is Super Saiyan Benzi." He's really leveled up. In his rant toward this, because again, Benzi knows the actual info of what we got, but he still proceeded to comment and make a video on this leak, even though he knows there's probably some bad translations in here.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, we've heard a lot of times different things coming out from NetEase that this will break the game. Game's over. It's stupid. They're shit. You know, we hear it for months and months and months, and yet here we are still playing. So, I mean,
Yeah.
at some point the straw is going to break the camel's back, as the proverbial saying goes. But I just don't see this as being it. Just like when the Voyage Core first came out, and everybody just went nuts over that. Then they nerfed it, and everybody went nuts over that, and now it's back. I mean, whatever. Like, how many of those are there in the, on grid? And is there a counter?
Give it
to
a week.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
Yeah, give it a week. Give it a try. Give it a week, and be like, oh, okay, maybe this isn't so bad. Okay, or it is so bad. This needs to be taken out of the game.
Yeah, I mean, you never know. You never know. They've made quick patches and changed things and redacted things and all that. So actually, here's what'll happen. You'll have a lot of people go and figure out how to get it, spend a couple $100 to get it, realize they're making a ton of money, and then NetEase will nerf the shit out of it, and it won't do anywhere near what it is you expect it to do. Kind of sound like support projection, right? So I mean,
So, I think the initial way of achieving it, I don't know if it's going to be you take your normal Rating nanocore and you upgrade it to be an intelligent one. I don't think you purchase the intelligent one right off the bat. That kind of just that eliminates your paywall.
but you
thing. So there
purchase
goes
the
your
purple
$200.
ones.
True, you purchase the purple ones, but you've already got a bunch. I mean, I got 2 of them for free today that I probably had sitting in boxes somewhere. I got Will of Steel and what's that other one that's just sitting in the hangar. I was like, oh, I'll open these and just throw them on some ships and use them. But I mean, I got 2 right there that I don't even use that I could upgrade if I wanted to into this intelligence nanocore, and that's how you would get it.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe you spend $200 on Concord Pass boxes or something, but it's different.
Yeah.
So they say that this function has a daily limited time. I know they've been talking about that because you get some people that are online literally 24/7. And so they wanted to cut that. I forget where I seen it. They wanted to cut that down to like 16 hours a day or something like that.
Yeah.
You couldn't play longer than
some of that is kind of a holdover from the way that the Chinese government has implemented laws for people's total amount of gameplay while they're online, right? So, I mean, they literally have laws for that in China. Granted, this is the international server, but I'm sure there's some sort of metrics or something that they have to have there internally somehow. Because if you're in China, you can't play on the international server, period, can you? Unless you VPN or something, right? Like, there's no way to do it. They have to be on the Chinese server. I don't know if anybody's ever clarified that for me.
Okay, so what's the question again?
If you're
In order
in
to get on
China
the China.
and you want to play Eve Echoes, you're automatically going to be on the Chinese servers, right? There's no way for you to get on the international server that we're on. Without
There
having
is a way.
then,
I
yeah,
think it was.
VPN and get around it and do all. Yeah,
Well, I thought that was the normal way back, in their app stores and all that type of stuff. Now, the additional, in order to get the Chinese server only, was to have to get it off of their website, and then you had to confirm your not only have a Chinese IP address, but you had to have a phone number as well.
and you get a
To be able
bad
to confirm.
social credit score when you do. That's amazing. Yeah,
I
they
don't
have
know about
they have
that.
social credit scores. Yeah, I do know that.
Yeah, there is a way, VPN. There's other ways too that aren't VPNs as well. Do know of that, but I don't want to be talking that talk.
I gotta pay 100,000 R. That's why the Chinese server crashed. A whole bunch of people came onto it, and
Yeah. Yeah. So they say, it's just going to be really interesting as to how they implement this and the initial reaction of it. I think people are kind of overreacting to it, and it may not be as bad as what this translation makes it sound.
it's par for the course. It's par for the course with everything that comes out that someone thinks bad or just it's par for the course. It's what we do. That's part of who we are.
I can't wait till the April update.
The April
That's-
update's going to be amazing. I can't wait. There's
Yeah.
so many exciting things with that one. Yeah, and I hope it does include upgrades on the citadels and things like that. So it needs to, especially before we go build a whole bunch of them, right? So
Yeah. What's in the April update? We do know of it's like the update of Citadel content and corporation in size increase and just a bunch of stuff regarding that.
there is a balance patch in April, Bradrick. There's a bunch of
Yeah.
things coming in April. The balance patch,
Or how about
the
that? How about that?
corporation upgrades.
Remember when they announced that they're going to do balance patches once every year now in April instead of doing it quarterly or whatever they were doing before?
Mm-hmm.
Remember the uproar that had? People thought the game was dying and dead at the time and all this type of stuff. And then it's almost April already.
Yep, here we are. And they've done all kinds of other little changes and balances and all that kind of stuff in the process. So it's not just oh gosh. Yeah, and exactly. What does that balance patch means? Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Additional content, all that stuff.
And of course, Rambo is excited about corporation sizes going from 200 to 400 because he's the merger king.
We don't know if it's 400.
We don't know
But
what
if
the
it
number
is-
Yeah.
If it is, I know a guy.
I'm not waiting. I've already got plans. I've already got things in the works. So I'm not waiting for the update to move forward with things. So
Yeah. Can't just rely on that type of stuff. But
no. you
we
gotta
do
move
know
forward.
of additional content coming into the game that also I'm pretty excited about. So it is what it is. Yep.
Yep.
All right. Then I don't think you said it earlier when we opened, when we were going through our stuff to talk about, but Ozir is our special guest tonight.
Yep. I mentioned it at one point
So,
when we were trying to get him into the chat. Yep.
So we will be talking with him here shortly. And I think it's time for a commercial break. I've got some new commercials brought to you by Damon. We got some new pilots of New Eden to play for you. So,
yeah.
We'll get that going. And then once we come back, I'll unmute Ozir and we'll talk with him for a bit. Sound good?
Sounds great.
Eve Echoes presents Real Pilots of New Eden.
Real pilots of New Eden.
Today we salute you, Mr. First Time CTA Attender.
Mr. First Time CTA Tender.
It's a scary world out there, but you're going to do your part, even though you have never left Jita.
What does CTA stand for?
While everyone looks nearly identical, you stand out in a fleet because you have no idea what a doctrine is.
And I'm
You've seen the pings and the announcements, and yet you still ask the FC, how much longer will this take?
How long is this CTA? Boy wants to know.
You've made it to the fight. However, you've only trained Micro Warp Drive to 4-4 and now can't keep up with the nightmare.
FC on tackle.
So crack open an ice cold can of Quafe, oh Prince of the Punch Clock, because you have survived your first CTA, and you know it won't be your last.
Mr. First Time CTA attender.
Eve Echoes presents Real Pilots of New Eden.
Real pilots of New Eden.
Today we salute you, Mr. Drink and Dread Gate Camper Guy.
Mr. Drinking Drink Camper Guy.
It's Thursday night. You have no work tomorrow. 2 dreads, a gate into null, and lots of alcohol.
It's time to party.
A ship jumps through into your camp. You take a shot, and then you take a shot.
Maybe I should eat first.
Your corp mates are pinging you through multiple discords. There is a 40-man fleet coming. Dear Godman, get on comms.
What? Navigations.
The fleet enters in, melts your first Drake, starts killing your second. You jump back in and fight with your Bargist.
Now I'm gonna get you.
So crack open an ice-cold can of Quafe, oh Duke of Destruction, because if you're seeing double, then that's more than enough insurance points.
Mr. Drinky Drinky Camper Guy.
That's
And
more
we
like,
are back.
that's more like once your first Moros dies, you gotta drop in drop in your second rev and watch it die too.
Yeah. And then throw your Bargist in there as well. Mine as well. Yeah. So, you know what's funny about that second one, Don't Drink and Dread? I'm pretty sure the singer in that one, he got more drunk as the song went through, cuz like you could barely understand him after a while. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's good stuff. Good stuff.
Exactly, Juicy. Yeah, Brianna in C-137 would do this in a freaking heartbeat. Guy doesn't know how to use 2/3 of his ships. He's Mr. First Time CTA attender.
Right on.
Sorry,
Yeah,
not sorry.
I hope people enjoy those. Those are cool. Those are fun.
They are.
I'm just queuing up here. All right, we got Ozir in the audience, everybody. Ozir, I'm going to be unmuting you. Hope you are ready. What's going on, Ozir?
Not much. Can you hear me?
We
Yes,
can hear
sir.
you.
All right. I have listened to the podcast most of the time, and I've never listened to those commercials before. And I mean, that's a tough act to follow.
Yeah, it's pretty tough. We played these probably in the last 3 weeks. They're about 3 weeks old now. Those two, that was number 4 and number 5.
Yeah.
So there's 3 ahead of it that we've played in the past.
Yeah, damn. Yeah, it may be. Yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah, it's a trap. Yeah. No. Thanks for having me on, guys. It's been. I don't even remember the last time I was on. It's been a good long while.
It was right around the
back
start of the war, I
when,
think.
Which war?
The start of this war.
I thought it was
It-
Bruno
no.
for me.
It was back in when Burr was being formed after the GenFed fall.
That's right.
Was
That's
the
right.
last time that we had Ozir on.
Mhm.
And so I know we've been asking you for weeks, hey, do you want to come on and talk about the war, do, stuff like that. You haven't had time. You end up on New Eden Radio, and I'm like, what the heck? You'd be on their show.
Here I am.
Scheduling is a thing and all that. We have to take that into consideration. But we are glad to have you on the show tonight. So thank you for coming on.
Yeah, well, my Sunday nights were busy for quite some time.
Yeah. They're not so busy anymore now. Why is that?
I'm so busy.
Right.
I'm so busy, right?
That is true. That is
Yeah.
very true. Speaking of, fuck.
Yeah, you guys you guys are shooting some things, right?
I think they're already
I
done.
hope it's already dead.
They should already be done.
Okay.
Yeah.
Should
Okay.
already be done.
Yep.
But yeah.
Well, yeah, like you said, I mean, interesting development, right? All of a sudden, you guys are shooting your own stuff.
That's
Yeah.
correct. Taking it down, moving south.
There you go. There you go. All right, so is this just a 1 week thing, or are you guys coming back for next week as well?
What do you mean?
It's temporary move.
Yeah, we're just,
Yeah.
gonna
No,
blow,
no,
we're just gonna blow everything up, move south, and go right back north the next week and just start building.
No. You've got there's quite a few more left. Was what I was getting at.
Oh yeah, no, it's gonna take a little while. We'll see.
Yeah.
You caught us off guard. I honestly, like, we started hearing rumors about it, and we're like, really? Then it was like the Michael Scott, like, it's happening, everyone. It's really
It's
happening.
happening. Hey, everybody, it's happening. Yeah, and everybody just panicking. Yeah, that's a pretty good analogy. I mean, we're 105 days into the war plus, right?
We
Probably
are.
today's day 106. Darth Oyster keeps track of the days for me, so I
Yeah,
don't
he
have
does.
to.
He does.
Honestly.
Yeah.
So, as you know, you've seen Darth Oyster. It's your doppelganger in New Eden there, and he basically relays everything that you say into some sort of satire post, and gets a few laughs out of some people. So it's pretty good content there. But yeah, after 90 days or so, we're like, okay, well, what's going on with the war? Timer, basically it's timer tanking, that's a term that I've heard, and it's kind of come down toward a stalemate. And we could talk about the numbers too. Heck, I hadn't even checked the bot in the last week because it's not that I don't care. It's kind of just like I don't even look at them anymore because the gap is so wide, and then there's at this time 30,000 ships versus 20,000 ships lost, and then structures like we could pull it up. Crabco has over 700 POS destroyed. I haven't checked on, so we could pull the bot.
here. I can run it right
yeah,
here.
pull the bot.
And pull it.
Silent keeps mentioning bots. What's going on here?
Yeah, we're running the bot. We're running Mario's bot, as some people inside of Crabco call it, your bot. So, that's kind of funny, but that's whatever. Everybody's
I've literally heard people from both sides accuse Mario of being biased towards the other side, which is he's a really nice guy, and he just wants to, record. He just likes data.
Yeah, I agree. Mario's a good guy. I agree. Yep, he just wants to try to do his best. And sometimes he gets pulled in both directions by both sides, better or worse. That's just the way it goes. So yeah, Razzle Dazzle 2.0, 27 trillion, a little over 27 trillion. Crabco 19. So it's getting close to a 10 trillion gap. It's getting really close to a 10 trillion gap. So
yeah, well, and I think with both sides are always going to look at and as they should look at the things that they're doing well, right? Crabco is going to point to the structures, going to point to the Saab being destroyed before you guys destroyed your own Saab, and then you guys are going to point to the ISK war, and both points are valid. At the end of the day, with IP being where the way it is, you can just get shipped back instantly. It's one of those things that as long as people keep fleeting up and keep up shipping and getting their ship back, we can always keep fighting.
Yeah, but honest question here. You guys have always pointed to the structures, and we have always pointed to the ISK.
Yep.
What are you going to do when there's no more structures for you to point to and yours keep going down? What are you going to do at that part? Have you guys talked about that, thought about that? What happens then? You don't have any more structures to hit.
Realistically, this has been a time zone war, right? So, being able to take your structures in Declan when you had all your center jammers up was incredibly hard. Especially on US primetime, where maybe 30% of our coalition is US primetime, whereas quite a bit more is able to form up on Chinese primetime. So you guys haven't been able to consistently bring enough to challenge us. I mean, the last time we had a major form up on Chinese primetime was K4, right? That was like the 30th of December. So, I mean, if you guys are in a position where you can start significantly taking down citadels in Delve or wherever else you go, that'll be challenging. But at the same time, the coalition being as large as it is, I guess where we lost 16 citadels, or what is the number?
I had
had
to
to
scroll
scroll
back
up.
up because everybody keeps talking. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We've taken
16 citadels, T1.
and one T2. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, really, and I think that T2 was the one, was that the MO one, that the King of the Hill Citadel. So no, I mean, realistically, I think right now we're upgrading, we've upgraded most citadels in Delve and the other areas to T2. So if you guys can take them and then hold them the following week on Chinese primetime, then that's something we'll have to adapt to. But for now,
so you did go from T1 to T2. You have started the upgrades in Delve. Is that what you're saying?
that was months ago. I just think that people were lackadaisical about it, and also I don't think people were too terribly worried about losing citadels here and there. So, but they are now. So we'll see what happens. I mean, that's the thing, right? With whether it's T1s, T2s, we're gonna have some big battles in Chinese primetime again. So I guess I don't know. I guess if you guys are consistently able to start carrying citadels off of us on Chinese prime on Friday, then I guess we'll either have to drop more citadels or otherwise adapt.
Right. So one thing that I wanted to ask, and this is to get your perspective on, how is the war coming along? Like, basically, how is it going so far, 100 and something days in for Crabco start from basically the start to today? Like, how has it evolved over time? And as you're taking citadels and killing ships and changing strategies?
Do you want to, like, I mean, the narrative of the entire war, obviously it's been a long war, right? There's been lots of phases, right? There was initially Teenal and Branch, with some little bit of dalliances into Declan, and then we had Fire and EQ enter the war. Fire is no more, and then we got distracted in Fountain there. That was a bit of a oral. That was
a distraction, all right. That's a nice way to put it, but that's a good way to put it on your end.
Well, it was suboptimal. I mean, it was not a good thing, but massive mistake. I don't know, whatever. So
everybody makes mistakes. I'm sure we've got plenty of things I can point to on my end. I've made mistakes, so it is what it is.
So yeah,
right.
So, I mean,
ship yeeter.
Hey, I am not a ship yeeter. I know Obi-Wan Kenobi thinks I am, but I'm not.
No, I mean, I don't know. Like, I guess I don't know if there's anything I'm saying that's groundbreaking, right? Like, obviously, for a while there, you guys were very much trying to stick to the Maelstroms and Tempests. You guys switched doctrine. When did that happen? Is that late January, early February?
Honestly, I don't even remember exactly.
It's
been so long. It seemed like
it was definitely not. It was definitely in January or in early February. But that's been obviously a big change to the dynamics of the war. We've had to adapt, and more of our ships have gone to fast brawl. I feel like in the doctrine of Echoes, there's like that paper rock scissors of heavy brawl in a brawl beats fast brawl. Fast brawl can chase down Kite, and then Kite can just punish heavy brawl. So it's one of those things where we're all going to see what happens as you guys come to Delve.
I mean, I like to think that it's and that you're not completely wrong when you said that, but I like to think there's a little bit more nuance than just that, right? So there's a numbers game that gets involved with those different types of comps as well. One is better when you have the higher numbers. One is better when you actually have lower numbers than the other side. And then when it comes to the capitals, you made an interesting comment last week on McKinsey's show, and it was about the only thing I caught. I wanted to listen longer. I didn't have a whole lot of time. That's a very difficult time for me on most Sundays to try to listen to our show. That's why I'm not there very often. But you made a comment about the capital fight and why the capital fight hasn't happened. Why do you think, in your words, why the big cap fight just hasn't happened yet?
I think both sides are looking for their shot, right? They're looking to get to use a poker analogy, right? We're looking to get our money in when the money's good, right? Obviously the first time that Crabco moved up with, I don't know, like 130 dreads, which was Christmas, I think, actually. Like that wasn't a good gauge. But there was the day that we took eFICO, which was I think the first weekend of February, where we had something like 60 dreads on the field, and we had a good solid subcap form up. And you guys didn't bring your caps out. But then there's also the January 1st battle where you guys butchered us on BFK, and we chose not to bring our dreads out. And then there's been the two fleets we stood down in Fountain. And there was the fleet that you guys had the carriers a little too close, and we had enough subcaps to yeet in and take 10 or 11 carriers right there. So I mean, everybody's looking for their shot to get capitals, because capitals, you can't just, I mean, nobody's going to IP those back, right? It's far more efficient to just have the whole sitting around. So that's my explanations. I think that we're all looking for an opportunity not to yeet our carriers and our capitals two at a time, out there and go full Illuminati.
Full Illuminati.
Ouch.
Yeah.
That's a real pilot of New Eden.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, at the same time, we've plenty of dudes that have suicided themselves on the VFK station playing docking games. So there's goofballs on both sides.
That indeed. So I see a lot of chatter with AOA in the chat. They keep bringing it up. What's going on with AOA?
What do you mean?
Well, as far as, now they consider themselves the strongest alliance in the game. Nobody can stop them. They're on your side, but
They're also,
I don't know.
They're also shooting spy. They're having a fight with OTO.
They kind of seem like they have a mind of their own right now.
Well, I mean, I think, we can see from the Fountain thing, right? They were the ones that took the Retzi shield and armor there. So yeah, they definitely have their own things they're working on when they're not engaged in the war actively, right? Which hasn't always been during Chinese prime time. So they've got some other stuff that they're doing. I was under the impression the spy stuff had calmed down, and obviously the OTO thing is pretty much, for better or worse, pretty much over. So, I mean, they have had their little side projects and their little offshoots that they've done, for sure.
Okay.
I mean, I guess to answer your question, yes, you're right. They have a mind of their own. I think every alliance in Crabco does. Some of them are a little bit more self-sacrificing and more focused on keeping their eye on the prize, though.
So, okay. So a couple things with that. Do you, or I mean, maybe this is a question you're not going to want to answer, and that's fine, but do you see moving forward now with the position that Silent is taking with no SOV in the north, do you see some of the coalition partners just not wanting to constantly be in one particular area or another in order to defend constantly?
I mean, I don't think we're going to have to defend constantly. We can for the content, right? But the question becomes, you're going to hit, let's just say you are going to hit Delve, right? Or Delve or wherever you're going to hit. We've got the Friday +8 form up, or the 1400 or whatever the timers are at.
1400 UTC, yep.
UTC form up on Friday. I guess if you guys are intending to go ahead and go on offense and start hitting them and... Oh, did I lose you guys?
No, we can hear you.
Okay. If you guys are going to hit them and Void and Trimark and Burr and all those things, I guess then we'll be fighting more consistently on defense. We haven't had you guys consistently do that yet. So if you're able to, then more power to you, and that's what we're going to see, I guess. So I mean that's the question.
All the whole
right?
timers across the South are not 1400 UTC. I hope you make every single one of them the exact same. Please do.
Yeah. No, but no, I know there's the Wednesday European primetime in Aquarius and Aquarius, I guess, that area,
Yeah.
and then there's that. So, I guess we'll just kind of see how you guys, what tempo you guys push on offense. That is the one advantage of blowing up all your stops. You're going to be able to kind of dictate the tempo of how much defensive stuff you want to put on. That's the advantage of being on offense. That's why I suspect you guys decided that you didn't want to be on defense anymore.
Yeah, I don't think any of us want to be on defense anymore. We'd rather just go blow up all the other stuff on the other side of the map.
Right.
I mean, I don't mind defending, and we were defending just fine. I don't think there was anybody inside of Silent who said, you know what, I'm just sick and tired of defending. I don't want to have this space anymore. It's not worth it. That wasn't the that wasn't the equation.
Well, what was the rationale then? I mean, obviously you didn't enjoy defending, but you were doing a good job for sure. Why blow it all up then?
Because it's funner to blow up your stuff.
Funner.
It's I mean, offense is better, right? I mean, offense is funner. That's all. That's the only thing I can say. More fun.
It was translated to the point where it's cutting the ties, and you don't need to be burdened with having to defend your citadels any longer, because when they go poof, then you're free, right? So
got nothing else to worry about
the
up
whole
north.
aspect.
Yep.
But the thing is that with SHH doing this, and I speak for SHH as a whole, this includes Care Bears and Bot 5, everybody was on board with doing this. So this kind of makes one of those rare instances in the game to where, okay, what alliance do you know of that's ever thought of that to themselves and said, oh, let's just cut our dead weight here and go out on the offensive.
Like Superliminal's thought we blow up all of our stop too. And then we all just go to Flare Land together.
Go to Claire Lamb. Yeah, we'll get the auto crab cores and just live in high sec.
I heard they fixed the thing where you could logi somebody else's rats to troll them, so you can't do that anymore. But
oh, really? I didn't hear that. That'd be a good one. That I always enjoyed that. That was funny.
It was. But I don't know if that's actually true, but I'd heard that. I mean, that's the thing, right? The tempo. You're gonna have the opportunity to prove that, right? So all of a sudden we have basically content in the South where, armor timers, on whatever nights you guys are attacking could become something more fun, because we don't have if we're not going to have as much to shoot up north, then we'll be able to come down and do that whenever. So you guys will get to dictate tempo, though you'll also then have to challenge those whole timers in Chinese primetime. And yeah, they're not all the same day, but they're all pretty much, I think, either 1400 or European primetime. So, and obviously you guys have a very strong U.S. contingent. You do have some Euro players, but U.S. is by far your strongest time zone, right?
It's really kind of a mix between EU and American, honestly.
Heck, during the Panth War, I could have swore it was EU primary, man.
Yeah.
Well,
But a lot of this.
But it didn't matter
CTAs were
because
during
we
that
would
time.
constantly CTA all day and all night. We got to, I mean, that's the thing with a lot of our guys, that, and it's not me being biased when I say this. It's just true. You can look at all the past wars, and we fought a 1-year-long war with the Fireflies in the north, and had APAC time zone whole timers as well. What's the difference now?
I mean, that you're not only fighting them, I suppose, but I guess that's the obvious.
That's the obvious, right? Maybe more numbers, but it's still the same thing. And at the same time, we don't have to worry about defense. So
I mean, that's why we played. I mean, sure, you absolutely you can say that, and that is a factual statement that you will not have to. When all your SOV is gone, you will not have to worry about defense. And as long as you guys have the ability to keep and the willpower to keep forming up, we'll defend. And that's kind of where we're at. And I'm sure we will lose, some citadels, right? Over 16 weeks, we've lost about 1 citadel a week, and across 55% of the server or whatever number we are, that's sort of just been an acceptable thing. And so that's where we're at. It's going to come down to you guys pushing the tempo, and we'll see what you do. At the same time, what about the players left behind? About all of the players that really they were home defensive guys and gals or whatnot. I mean, there's a lot of folks that are going to end up with stuff in asset wrap that really probably weren't super active.
Oh no,
True.
that's why we're doing the things that we've been doing all week long with Move Ops.
Yeah.
That's why we've been doing that constantly. I don't know how many tens of millions of metric cubic stuff I've moved for all kinds. I've moved Bot 5 stuff. I've moved MyCorp stuff. I've moved Care Bears with Gun stuff. I've moved.
Well, yeah, for
I've moved all
players that are
kinds of people's
active,
stuff. So
for players that are active in the game, that's
Yeah, yeah.
absolutely true. But how many times do you have somebody come back and say, "Hey guys, sorry I was gone for 2 months. Kind of rejoin the corp." And sure, man, good to have you back, but you're going to have to get that stuff out of asset wrap.
yeah, and then
Well,
we'll just help them as best we can and get them moved along and move on with it. I mean,
Yeah.
that's
So with some of the people, because I mean, you're well aware that my corp is on its way out. So with that, I think it really comes down to the leadership team. If you have leaders that are able to reach out to those people and communicate, hey, this is what's going on. I know you have a capital or 2 or 4 that need to be moved.
Yeah.
I would highly recommend you to move them. You have a week or so,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Before this SHH Fireside happened to where it was official and all that stuff. It's like, hey, you got a week.
Yeah.
And if you need help, contract it to somebody, we'll move it for you, et cetera, et cetera. We've had to do that for multiple people. So,
Yeah.
but not everybody replies either. I mean, I
Totally.
sent one of
Life is
my,
busy.
yeah, of course, they mute Discord or whatever, and they just don't look at it for, reasons. And it's like, you can't really do anything about it. You really have to kind of clean up that mess kind of when they come back, right? It's like, oh
Yeah.
shit, all my stuff is in HiSec all of a sudden. What happened?
Yeah.
Okay, well, here's what happened.
yeah.
Yeah.
Can we help you, right? That is obviously a thing. Yeah, I didn't really have much else to add to that though.
Yeah, I mean,
But
I, don't
I
think
see
that's-
where he's coming from.
I think, I mean, on one hand, it is a big deal and it is a big problem when you've got so many pilots that have to get moved. Either they're active or inactive. They've got stuff all over the place. But for the majority of our pilots, they've known that they needed to have things in NPC stations anyway for 4
Yeah.
months. So
Yeah.
that's one way to kind of combat that. But you're always going to have those folks that get quote unquote left behind. And when they do come back to where they're no longer left behind, you just assist them in any way you can to get them back in the game. Whether that's just going ahead and giving them some ships to do whatever it is we're doing and wherever else we are until they can afford to pull some things out, or they just leave them in wrappers for the longest time. I have things in wrappers from the Terran Federation War down in Cache when my corp citadeled a I left you behind, Dragon. We Entostus one of those down there for like a week, and I'd put a couple things in there, just dictors or something, I forget what, and that wrapper is still sitting way down there, and I just don't give a shit. I ignore it. That's part of why my damn inventory screen takes forever to load.
given the opportunity of this as well as another aspect of it is, instead of moving it, just keep it in the Citadel and then have it blow up, because they want it asset wrapped to low sec or high
Oh yeah,
sec.
a lot of people doing that.
So they're like, okay, I'll just pay the 15% because it's gonna take me X amount of trips and I'm gonna have to hire people to jump freighter it and all this stuff. It's
PI.
like, no.
PI is great to if PI can get can get asset wrapped to like a low sec. That's great. I'm with you there. Yeah, no, that was very nice. I mean, that was one of the silver linings of the end of the World War Gen War. Was a lot of stuff went to high sec, a lot of assets got liquidated at some pretty favorable prices, because obviously, you can get a lot better price in JITA than you can in nullsec for minerals.
Sure.
Yeah. No, I get that. Yeah, I mean, you guys, it's an evolution. It's going to be exciting, and there was some of us that I was definitely like, all right, are we getting trolled here? Sonny had put somewhere like, it's funny that Ozzy isn't sure if this is psyops. I wasn't certain if we were just all getting trolled and it was going to be a big early April Fool's Day joke. But kudos to you guys for going the extra mile there.
Yeah, and you can see it as it's a change of tactics, right? So we're not going to be stuck up on deck and defend anymore. We're going to, do some things and change things up. And could it speed up the war? Could Could it be
So-
the end of SHH? It could.
So here's a question
know.
for you. Here's a question for you. I mean, you're right, right? You guys destroy all your SOV, and let's just say by the end of March or whatever, Silent Federation has no more SOV. That's certainly you know,
Probably faster
if
than
you would
that.
yeah, I mean, if you would have asked me on February 15th, like how long do you think it's going to take to destroy all of Silent SOV, I would have given you like a sheepish shrug and be like, F if I know. But at the same time, if it's all gone, then you guys are on offense. What's the end condition? What's the goal for you guys? Is it to burn the entire server?
That's a great question. I was actually going to ask you the same thing. What the goalposts were. I mean, we had that little bit of a fun back and forth on Reddit earlier this week too, with that very same question.
I mean, if all your guys' SOB is burned, and you've done that, and then I guess you're at a point where you're just kind of going as long as you want to go then, right? Because we've got nothing left to burn.
Correct.
So I guess, it's like we're stuck in that Umamu thing with Dr. Strange, right?
Yeah, pretty much. And we're Doctor Strange, and you're Unumanu, whatever the hell his name was. You're stuck.
Yeah.
Right.
We're just kind of there. So, but no, I absolutely no. But in all reality, at some point it becomes good. Just it's great PvP content, and it becomes one of those things that I think you guys going on offense is going to put a situation where we will get more opportunities, to find good fleet content, 30 to 50 man fleets in U.S. primetime. As I know, I think Bot 5 has been down there pretty consistently. I know we've seen other groups as well. So it'll be a lot more fun, I think.
One of my only bones of contention with Silent, and I'll just air this out right now, and so that because Ozier just did it too. God damn it. Everybody always says, oh, yeah, Bot 5's been down there. Yeah, Care Bears with Guns has been down there as well, and longer than Bot 5, but they constantly steal my fucking kills. God damn it, they're so fucking good. It's irritating.
Well, that's why nobody acknowledges Care Bears with Guns. See? Bot 5 gets all the kills.
I love those guys. I'm kidding, but I'm not. They do. It's like, God damn it, here they are. Shit, we landed on the same pause
Right.
one night, like my fleet and their fleet, and I'm like, shit, there we go. Guys, we might as well just leave.
Yeah.
I mean...
Yeah.
But no, okay, so serious question though. You guys declared the war on us. It's not on us to say
Sure.
what the what the
technically-
end game is here. I
technically-
mean, what is it you guys are trying to get out of it? Because at one point, I know the disband thing was being thrown around. I know you deny that now, as you did on
How about
Reddit,
this?
but that was being
How
thrown
this?
around.
Fine. It was being thrown around. Do me a favor. Remember, Tahini started the war.
Yeah.
He kicked it off. I know that obviously people talk shit. Find me one person from a leadership perspective, right? That would be like Starpadon, myself, Stony, Meliodas, that it came from leadership. I'm not saying that there wasn't some sentiment and there was some aggression. I'm just saying that was never really, that was more of a Spider-Man type of thing where the fireside comes out, the initial Michael manifesto of hey, we're gonna blow everything up, we're gonna make them leave their group or quit the game or whatever it was. And then there was a lot of we'll say pointing of fingers and angriness that those first few weeks of December, and a lot of chest beating, a lot of rhetoric. But find me somebody in a leadership position from Crabco or one of the major alliances that said that. Like you've got all these folks that are in these channels. Go find it on Reddit. Go find it on one of our posts on our Discord. I don't believe it exists.
Then
And at
what
point-
is, outside of the Tahini war deck, then what is your stated goal, or what is it you're trying to accomplish?
The stated goal from Tahini was to bring balance to the game, which I think, again, Tahini is a very, amicable guy. And I think bring balance is a little bit softer than I would say. I think if you're talking about it, really it was to eliminate the ability for you guys in the north to come down and effectively do what you're doing here now, which is to come down and
which is what we're doing anyway.
right. So that, but we all joke like, well, that's the most silent thing I've ever seen. We're in a war to, we're gonna come kick you guys out of your space. So that's where we're at. So the war's not over. We both have reasons to fight still.
Yeah.
I think obviously there are people that get carried away on the Reddit, but I would say that even some of the people that were angry and very, very toxic maybe early on have found some respect and have found some, and even if they're they hate me or they hate Junie or whomever, they have at least found like a 40 RU, or they've at least found a Jacoba or a Vetemune. They found some commonality in the people that they're killing, and that's good for the community overall. Tahini is Thanos. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
great.
So, I guess then I'll go the next step then. If we're going to go past the whole, what's the end goal and all that. What are your conditions for an end to the war? And I'll just put it bluntly: if things are going badly for you today and you felt like you needed surrender, what would that look like? If you wanted to end the war, what would you need in order to make that happen? Just theory crafting here.
I haven't considered it. I mean,
Okay.
we're obviously. I mean, realistically, at this point, you guys would. I guess it hasn't gone bad for us. Obviously we've lost our battles, but when you look, even before you guys destroyed all your citadels, we pushed quite a bit of territory back, right? So, it's not. I mean, at the end of the day, we're all looking for a win condition, which I don't know that I love that term, but we're all looking for an acceptable way to keep finding good content without breaking the partner that we're getting content with, right? At least that's what I'm looking for. I'd love for us to find some sort of like mutual respect and mutual situation where we can kind of say, hey, all right, well, we've been doing this for 6 months or 7 months or whatever it is. Titans are coming out in August. Should we maybe get ready for that or whatever?
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, even a stalemate would be better than a
We were
loss,
already
right?
at a stalemate. We were.
No,
See,
I mean, no, just calling the war over. Just be like, okay, well, hey, Silent didn't disband. Crabco's still up and kicking, and we want to focus on other aspects of the game, like he had just mentioned,
Mm-hmm.
that would be more critical for the future of the game, rather. And, I mean, a stalemate is still better than a loss. At least you didn't lose.
And from my standpoint, I can't speak for Silent. I think everybody here understands that. I am
Sure.
not Michael JD. I am not Zen. I'm not Mr. Pay to Win. But I know from my own perspective as just a lowly little FC in Silent and a CEO of a corp and Care Bears with guns, I would be rightly...
So he's as low as it can go.
Low as it can go, yeah. I would be rightly pissed off if there was anything less than a complete burning of the South. And I'm 100% sure we can do it. And I don't care how long it takes. So, I mean, that's my 2 cents. That's just me telling you how we feel about it in terms of the South right now. So
I'm 100% certain you can't. So I guess we need to fight.
yeah.
Guess you need to fight.
Yeah.
I'll play the AOA card. I'll just be, there's worse out there, but yet the war is against Silent. So, I mean,
I don't see it that way. I mean, I understand obviously that. I fought them for a year and a half, and then I've been blue to them for a year, or for the most part of the last year. And I've been blue to Silent before. I was blue to GHA. I was blue to Pantheon. At one point or another, I've been gray or red or blue to everybody in the galaxy. And a lot of times the jersey of when you have the same jersey as somebody, your attitude changes from when you were on the other side of them.
You play this game long enough, you wind up fighting against and fighting with just about everybody.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Which is one of the great things about it, and which is why the focus on the big picture of, hey, this is a community is important, because, we joke about it, but NetEase does do some interesting things that makes it awfully easy for somebody to just throw their hands up and say, I'm going to go play Albion.
You know how pissed off that I was every time somebody bring up Albion. I just rolled my freaking eyes. I just
remember when
I've
Diablo
never-
Immortals
Diablo
came out?
Immortal. Oh my god.
I have never played it. I just played Diablo Immortals for about a week and a half, and I was like, wow, I thought Echoes was pay to win. This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
No, I mean, yeah. I mean, again, good luck for you guys in the offensive, right? Like I hope you guys have some fun moving in and
Yeah.
getting settled in. And so we'll give you some space, let you turn the lights off up north, and then we'll wait for you.
Sounds great. I look forward to it.
Yeah. The one thing about that though is, with Silent destroying all their own Sov, I don't really want to see Crabco claiming it as a win though, because
It is, though.
do it.
I mean, but
how?
you chose
They
to
didn't
do
shoot
it.
him.
You chose to do it because you didn't like the tempo of the war. I'm not saying that we did it. We couldn't have. Could we have done this? We would have been shooting your Sov until June, if not longer. Something had to give to change the stalemate in the war. You didn't enjoy the tempo of, like you said, like timer tanking and being put in a situation, because if you go back and you look at from February 22nd and you look forward to the next 15 days, you guys were CTAing 11 or 12 of those days, and that sucked. And we blue balled you on like 4 of them. We stood down on 2 of them, and we fought you on a couple of them, and then may just chase us around. We didn't accomplish much. We destroyed like 2 citadels in that 2-week period, but that's it's not great content. But we were doing it with a lot less people than you guys. So obviously you've been discussing this for a while. You wanted to go south. To do it, you had to let go of what we kept shooting. Obviously, I wouldn't call this like the big win, but we're certainly not upset about it.
Yeah, you're right. You're not upset about it.
Yeah.
SHH's obligation to defend Sov,
is gone. Yeah, I mean, we'll see how. I mean, again, I don't want this to turn into a. And I told you this before the show tonight, Ozzer. I don't want this to turn into a chest beating thing between us. I don't think that accomplishes anything. I want to have. I want to have an honest and frank discussion about the state of the war, where things are at, where things are going, without doing the whole "I'm going to kick your ass and I'm better than you" kind of comments, because that doesn't get us anywhere, right? On either side, that doesn't really get us anywhere. So, but I mean, I do though kind of have to chuckle a little bit at the this number you throw out with making us form for CTA's 11 or 15 straight days. Like I'm an FC.
You want
right?
to go through it?
I'm in Corps Command. Like we CTA on Thursdays and Sundays for defense, and that was it. All the other stuff is just form up if you want to and have some fun.
I mean, CTA if you're online, CTA whatever. But you did. I mean, like there was the. You remember there was the 2 days extra on Saturday and Tuesday where you guys went and you reinvaded Tenal. That was in there. There was some recipe timers. There was some myth timers in there.
Savage only.
That was Savage only. Yeah.
It was not Savage only, guys. Michael JD led the Saturday one, and Bot 5 was there for the Tuesday one, and Joda was there for both of them. Like I know you guys might not have been there. I'm just telling you, Silent formed up like in a 15-day period. It was either 11 or 12 of those days, and
that's the thing I think you're missing. That's the thing I think you're missing. Silent forms up every day.
Yeah, but
we form up every day.
So does Crabco.
Yeah.
So what's the point?
So that's what I'm getting at. Well, why is 11, 15 days this? Oh my God, we made you form up every day. Well, we form up every day anyway. That's the thing I don't understand.
When you're forming up with over 100 people, averaging for more than 3 hours in a form up, and you're not getting a great fight. That's not fun. Here's the thing. Like you said, this is one of those things. I don't think we're gonna find agreement in here.
No.
So you were challenging whether or not it happened. I'm pointing out like, hey, the 2 days in Tenal, the 2 days in Fountain, and those things. You string all that together. That's what I'm talking about. But either way, you guys are destroying your song.
I think there's a little. I think there's just a little bit of difference in the definition that most silent pilots look at it and say, what is a true blue full form up CTA, or what do we call forming up for CTA versus just a normal everyday operation? I think there's a difference there of how we look at things internally on that versus what you're looking at, and I think that's where the disconnect is, and that's fine.
Good, and I'd probably relay that because I would agree with that because I don't ping my corp to max form CTA for literally everything. It's only for like critical fights and all that type of stuff. So, you know, and then we rely on the alliance obviously to put out the pings for the other stuff, right? And so, and we have CEOs that reach out and talk to each other as well that have, you know, that may want to pull some additional help if they think that it doesn't require a alliance ping, but rather, hey, why don't you just ask your neighbor? Maybe you can get 5 extra pilots or something like that. So,
Yeah.
you know, it is what it is. Yeah.
Well, I mean, again, that was just one of the things that was kind of hyperbolically said. So I get what I get your point of it, but again,
And there's
anyways,
propaganda on both sides, so it is what it is. I mean, we all
yeah, the
we all have
propaganda.
we all have a propo war that we're fighting, so I get it.
I mean, overall, you know, you guys could have continued to hold the defense there. You chose not to. I do have a tremendous amount of respect that you guys are taking that measure and bringing the fight south. It's going to change the dynamic of things. It's going to put it on. And here's the thing: we're all going to see, you know, what does a silent +8 form up on a Friday morning look like, right? On a U.S. primetime Friday morning, what does it look like? I mean, the last
Yeah, I
time we all
suppose it depends.
I mean, the last time we all fought, you know, in a big way in the South was K4. Otherwise, it's just been the same things that we've been doing to you guys the last 3 weeks, like little Cove-op, Black Op, little form ups and trying to snipe a timer. That's basically what CRB has been doing in Delve, in Delve and Aquarius and Wicked Creek and all that. And that's been the offensive for the most part. So you guys going on offense and trying to make a measurable crack and start taking regions, that's a big tempo change.
Yeah.
We'll know in a month, right? We'll see.
Sure.
We'll see
Yeah.
how consistent. We'll see if it was an effective change. We'll see what happened.
Yeah, I mean, really, that's all we could do. Even SHH internally is going to be like, well, you know, how's this going to play out? Is this going to be good? You know, and ultimately, you really have to give support
Sure.
to your
And
fellow
if-
pilots and all that other stuff.
Well, and where's the breaking point too, right? From a standpoint of like if it's April 15th, if it's May 1st, and you guys haven't made serious headway, where does that put your members, right? From we blew everything up for this. That's
Right.
that's the thing is we're all putting a lot of emphasis on the next 3 or 4 weeks. Obviously, you can say, hey, well, now we're going to put you on defense for forever in perpetuity, but you know, whatever. At some point, that is what it is.
And the same thing goes on your side too. You know, how long are you guys going to want to constantly show up for defense? How long is AOA going to want to pay its members to show up? You know, how long are they going to keep doing that in certain areas around the map in the South when they have their own things that they want to do? How long are they going to keep spending their money on ships and SRP and pilots' time and everything else to go and defend somewhere else outside of what they consider their home space when they could be working on Titans or whatever the other next thing is coming down the game? I think that goes both ways.
I'm confident that AOA is still making money hand over fist.
Yeah, I think we all know how. Yeah, we're aware.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
I
not
now
the
it's
most
legalized.
honest way.
Now it's going to be legalized.
Like, yeah, it's like, yeah. Oh, yeah, no, I mean,
So,
yeah. Go ahead.
So, Ozzy, one thing that I wanted to ask is, in the period of this war so far, when do you have time to sleep? Because I always see you online.
You know,
Forming fleets.
that was just really December and January. Like I mean, January, I absolutely no lifed it, for sure. And the last 2 weeks of December, February, I had to be an adult a little bit and actually, you know, do some work, take a couple work trips, you know, do those things. So no,
Yeah.
I've done a much better job in February and the first half of March of taking care of my sleep.
Yeah, I seen him out there. It's like 2:00 in the morning my time. He's out there hitting my stuff. I'm like, geez, Ozzy, get some sleep.
Yeah,
What are you doing?
Yeah. Just having fun, just hanging out with the kids.
Yeah.
No, man. It's
Yep.
a lot of fun. I mean, I think that's the reason we all play the game, though, right? It's the people we fly with, the people we play with.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
And I think ultimately, you know, kudos to you guys for taking down all your SOV. The nice thing is that, you know, when you look at Delve, you look at Period Basis, Paragon Soul, you know, SO, Faye, and all that. Everybody that you're going to be attacking has already moved. at least once, right? Like their space has been burned at least once. So, it's one of those things that I expect that we'll lose some citadels here and there, but I think that, as long as we're able to put it down in a relatively short order and people can get back to their life, that's kind of the plan, right? Now, if you guys can start pulling 5-6 citadels off at a time, we'll see, right? That'll be the challenge.
There you go.
It'll be interesting, that's for sure. I'm excited. I
Yeah.
think a lot of us on the silent side are even more excited now than we were a few months back. So
Yeah,
Well, no like to defend.
I think it really has to depend on how leadership kind of translates a way to play the game differently than what they have been for the last year and a half, minus having to do CTAs. Like, well, heck, they haven't had ratting bonuses in 3 months, so what's the difference now, right? They haven't had to do. I mean, mining isn't as secure as it was prior to the war, et cetera, et cetera. And it's like, how do you convince your pilots, or at least comfort them, to be able to change the way that they play the game or try something new? Because a lot of times people don't like doing that. Like, I suck at PvP, but I try it anyway. I mean, I'll be the first to admit it. I mean, I am not good at PvP, but if I have a corp member that's doing a gate camp, sure, I'll join. I don't mind losing ships, all that stuff. I'm not game poor. Actually, I am game poor. I have to bleep that out. But
don't lie.
You know, but it's not just my corp, but it's every corp within SHH that has to kind of figure out a way to adapt in a change of being able to just pick up, live that rogue kind of there's a word for it, way of life in the game, to be able to do something. Not that. There was another different word. It's similar to rogue.
Vagabond.
I don't know. My MJD used it.
Gypsy? No. I mean, here's the thing. And here's the thing. For the player that appreciates the PvP life and would just do that and then maybe run their dormants and live off of the loot from their victims that they kill in PvP, this is great. Like, for people that like that, this is a great move for you guys. You will absolutely lose some pilots, right, in this transition. There will be people that will be like, well, if we don't have any soft to defend, why do I need a CTA? That will happen. I mean, that's a natural thing. But at the same time, for the people in your ranks, within Shook, within Bot 5, within Care Bears with guns, that love PvP, this is a great move for them.
Right. Yeah. But then at the same time too, you're bleeding, the players that be like, oh well, I PvE only, and I want to just sit in my own space and do my own thing and not support the corp or anything else like that. Like, those are the people. Granted, they're already on their way out, had they not left already anyway. So giving a move is giving them a chance to get out anyway.
Some of them for sure, but others kind of just go dormant. Like, I mean, every corporation has like that dad who, or mom for that matter, that has a few hours to play. They're the first time CTA attender from the commercial, right? That maybe once in a while, like once in a year, we'll make it to a CTA. But if they're online, they'll home defense, and they're just wonderful people, right? Like, but they're just hanging around, and they're part of your community. And they don't take a lot, but they give what they can, and that's what makes mobile gaming fun, is when you have that community. And so for those folks, this is really a challenging move for them. And whether they end up just going to their lamb and kind of, or they just, I don't know, maybe they just throw a pos somewhere in some random spot and fade, or Declan and try to hide out. I mean, I don't know, but we'll find you. No, but
they'll find you.
No, but no, I mean, for those folks, I hope they find a way to adapt. And I think the comments from the fireside you guys had about look to the dormant realms, certainly that's going to tank the value of general units and experience being sold on the market. But at least that is definitely a way to make some misses.
Which one of the versions of the fireside did you listen to? Could you hear somebody eating in the background on the recording you heard?
I don't know. I didn't.
Don't you hate it when that happens? Gosh,
I think
why-
it was somebody at the very beginning. Was that Rambo?
No, it's not me.
No,
It wasn't me that recorded. But like whenever I record it,
I'm trying
it's
to figure
like
out
perfect.
I'm trying to figure out which copy he got, so then I know where it came from, and then I know who the spy is.
Exactly. Well, obviously the spy is Alondria. So there you go. She's everywhere. No. Yeah, I don't remember anybody eating in the background.
Okay, good to
Yeah.
know.
My backup failed me. Dang it, Voxel. You're supposed to record it for me. Totally failed. Yeah, I was at work during that time, so
Yeah,
I couldn't
yeah.
record it. But
Yeah.
So Taylor, are you done asking the Ozzies the questions? Because I
Sure.
got the ultimate question coming right
Go
now.
for it,
You ready?
go
Oh
for it.
man.
Go for it.
All right, Ozzier. Are we gonna bring back the GHA? I mean, come on.
Oh, dude.
We're gonna bring it back.
Big,
Hey, if I get the
shout out.
support, I think we could bring it back.
I brought this up on Mackenzie's show, and a big shout out to Hayu, because the only great thing that came from GHA was Mongolian throat metal, and he threw that into one of your guys' CTA announcements like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I don't know
Yeah.
how many people appreciate how awesome that song is, and Mongolian throat metal for that matter. But the drone lands are coming open soon, so we got to definitely
Yeah.
bring it all back.
Yeah, yeah. We got a lot of the personalities are still playing this game, minus Bo, but think it
I
could
did-
happen. We mess around with Zan a lot and say, "Hey Zan, what? Oh yeah, SHA's gonna they're gonna go move down south, but I'm going to Kenora because they're gonna restart GHA. Stuff like that. Mess around with them.
We can get you some. Maybe I can talk to some guys from Void, see if we can get you some space in southeastern Cache.
Oh,
there you
yeah,
go.
Void,
There
our
you go.
greatest friends
Yeah.
that none of us joined. Yeah.
All right. Well, guys, anything else for me?
No, that was it. I'm
No,
glad
sir,
you came
that
on.
was
Thank you
it.
for coming on. It was a good conversation.
Yeah. Rambo, as always, Rambo is about the only person in the galaxy I think that actually that nails my my name actually correctly. So appreciate
Right?
that.
That's the
So-
only word he can pronounce correctly, apparently.
All right.
True.
Though I do love the iterations of Ozzier, Oyster, and Darth Oyster, Moisture. Oh god, that was a little bit. I was like, oh.
Well, that's
Whoa,
melodious.
whoa.
And that's melodious, and
Uh,
Ozier. That's the two.
Melodious.
Meliodas. Is it
Melody-
Meliodas?
Melody.
It's,
I mean, is he even playing? I can't tell.
He just got back. Actually, this time last week, he just got back from Bangladesh. He got back again. He got married like 2 weeks ago.
Oh
So
shit! Congrats.
yeah. So he's coming back. We're joking with him. It's just in time for Ramadan here in a week or two, and then he'll be fasting again, and he'll be Meliodas. So that'll
There
be
you
the
go.
melodious.
Meliodas.
Yeah, Meliodas. So all right, well guys, thanks so much for the time.
Yeah. Thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah, thank you, Ozier. Thanks for coming on.
Cheers.
All right.
All right, cool.
That was fun.
That was fun. That was a nice long conversation too. So on my time clock, we're at 1:46. So
Cool.
I mean, the only other thing that we had on the board was about the SHH Fireside and them declaring the departure of deck and basically moving into the south. And even though I think it may have been stated Delve, but it's actually multiple regions. So there's basically that. But I almost want to say all of New Eden was anticipating and listening to that Fireside because they did have it in the Coalition Discord. So of course Retzi was able to hear it, and
Yep.
and see people of CRB and X, EQ, all that. They're all able to hear it. Even Run gave a little speech during that time as well. So, yeah, I would say that's pretty good. We could call it a show at that. And you have some Omegas to give away. I know you didn't come up with any questions during the show.
Oh no.
However,
I've came up with 2 questions. I've already got the first one already typed up.
oh,
and ready
okay.
to hit enter
You
for
didn't
people.
say them, so I thought you were
No,
going to say them when you
well,
come
I
up.
was at some point, but here we are. We did this, and so now we're ready to do the Q&A and move on. So the first question is already typed up, and I'm going to hit enter, and it's going to be on the on-air chat. So if you're over on YouTube watching us over there, make sure you've got the Discord app up, and you're looking at the on-air chat as well. Ozier, thanks again for coming on. We really appreciate it. And the first question is, here we go. Boom.
How much Plex can you get for
the 1999 R pack. Oh, and I had it pulled up and then I closed out of it. God dang it.
How much Plex can you
Yeah.
get for the $19.99 AUR pack?
Tofanofo got it, 525. He is the first one.
Damn.
Boom. Send me your player ID for the account that you want to have win. That's easy, very easy. So simple, right? These Q&As. I do
Congrats.
these usually on Mondays or Tuesdays on the on-air chat. Doing it tonight because why not? Here we are. It's fun. We don't have a game show, so let's give away something on the podcast. That's the first one. Make sure you get that into me as quick as you can. The next question. These are never really super hard, right? These are never super hard. So
What show are you on?
yeah, what show are you on? Yeah, question 2. I'm typing it up right now. That someone's gotten it wrong before. Not gonna say who.
That is true. It's very true.
He might have just won stuff. Anyway, no, it's somebody else. Yeah, Titan Tito. Yeah, I know. I wasn't gonna say Titan Tito, but that was hilarious. He got so frazzled. This, I better not say it as I'm typing it up.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm typing it. Sorry.
Rip. People putting random answers in there. The sun is pink in 8-tac R32. I don't even know if that's a real system. Just made it up.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Boom. Question 2. This striker has a plus 6% large torpedo damage bonus per advanced large skill missile bonus.
Tornado Striker.
Very simple. Tiger Maul got it with the Raven Striker. Very simple. There you go. Boom.
Damn, these guys are quick.
Yep.
They were really quick on that.
Just send me a DM with your player ID that you want. Yeah, he's botting. Confirmed
Yeah.
RTI bots.
He had auto answer on. That's unfair.
Auto answer, yeah.
Yeah.
What's he saying? You can donate my prize back. I'll just go put it on one of my alts then. Okay, thank you, Tiger. No, I'm kidding. If you don't want it, if you're being serious, you don't want it, then who's the succubus striker? Oh my God, we should take Tofanofu's Duo Omega away from him for that answer. Who got the second
Denied.
one? Yeah.
It was like Nessival or Quarry.
No, I
Or
don't
Dragon
see.
got it.
I don't.
Or-
Well, he said Raven.
Well, he
didn't
did
say
Raven.
Striker, but I don't want to give Lord Dragon
And-
money. I'm kidding.
Yeah, true.
Okay, so it's up to
Latara.
you. It's up to you, Tiger. If you don't want it, then you pick out who it goes to. Oh, Latara got it. Yeah. But it's up to you, Tiger. You tell me if you don't want it. Otherwise, DM me your ID. I need all of those in by tomorrow, or I just won't get it done because I'll forget. I said which striker. I did say which striker, and then he answered Raven. That's true. But again, it's up to Tiger. All right. Anything else on the queue?
Do the content creator shout outs, but otherwise that's it.
I mean, I really can't do the content creator shout outs this week because in the last week, all the content creators that I've been watching and trying to listen to, they're all just batshit crazy and pissed off. Like every single one of them is mad. Benzi's mad. Ashiv's mad. Scipio was the only one I don't think was mad because he didn't post anything this week. Jubilee posted something angry, I think, too. Like every single one of them is posting angry stuff on this game, and I'm tired of the hate. I love the game. Let's all love it together. There's my love show right there.
Yeah.
That's it. Sorry, that's all I got. Rambo's like, what the fuck did this happen?
Shout out to Damon Zell
Damon
and
Zell, of course. Yes, we love you,
New
Damon.
Eden Radio, Mackenzie and her crew over there taking care of business.
Mm-hmm.
And as well as the other content creators out there putting in work for their community, even though sometimes it's not always good.
It's content, maybe not. Anyway, teach their own. Everybody's got their opinions. It's fine.
Did Tiger Mall ever allocate his
Yeah.
Duo Omega?
Yep.
He
He's
did?
DMing me now. Yep.
Okay.
No, he's gonna get it for himself. So. Yep.
Alrighty, sounds good. I think with that, we will call it a show. And heck, I didn't play the outro music, Rip.
No. Yep. Go for it.
What are we gonna talk about? Because it's like 30 seconds long.
During the outro,
Yeah.
probably the best fireside ever. Everybody,
Good morning, good evening, and good night.
we're blowing up our stuff and we're moving south. Get ready. It was pretty epic. It was pretty epic. And it was short and sweet, too. That's one of the great things about a silent fireside. It's jam-packed with interesting info right there. Now, let's go get to work, right? So, awesome
Right,
stuff.
yeah, let's get to work.
Yep. It's
I was
great.
expecting a little bit more, honestly.
Yeah, you never know, but I think it was fine. It was fine. They did a little Q&A. Some guy decided to yell in the middle of it. We had to silence him. That was always funny.
Always happens.
It always happens.
Just like your first-time CTA attender.
Just like your first time TCA attender, you bet.
Yeah. Don't always mute right away.
Nope. So, but overall, good.
All
fun.
right. Ladies and gentlemen, after the show here, we will go over into the talk channel for the after party. I'll hang out in there as we upload all this stuff and take care of business on the back end. Thank you, everybody that joined the audience. We had a full-up crew tonight. Thank you, Ozier, for joining, and we shall see you next week. 07 out there. Fly safe. See you around. Say your goodbye, Taylor.
Hey, goodbye, guys. We'll see you next week.
Southbound.